Hey there guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. And just before I get into today's satisfactory video, as you can see in front of me, I did some off-camera work here, and I just want to explain what I did off-camera so all you guys are caught up on what I did. And so to kind of explain what I did, the first thing I did here was I moved the hub out of the way and added some biomass burners off to the side there. So now I am making a total of 100 megawatts. And I also added a few new production lines here. So I added a screw production line right there. And so what I did was I just placed a constructor in front of the iron rod storage container there. And so to me, I think that's the easiest way of doing that one instead of adding or splitting the iron rod production over out the constructor there, if that makes sense, or adding a whole other, yeah, it's just, you know, the easiest way of doing it, I think, anyway. And the other production line I added was cable. And so again, pretty simple stuff. 2 constructors here making 30 copper wire each, which gets combined into 60 to then make cable. And over here is my dedicated copper wire line over here. So what I did is I just split my copper ore line in half, and now I have a dedicated copper wire line there. Since I need all 60 per minute here to make the cable. And then this little production line over here is my concrete, as you can see. And then over here I have my biomass production line here. So what I do is I just put like bushes or wood or whatever into that storage container. It goes through the constructor there and it comes out the other end biomass. And the reason why I did that is just so I don't have to sit at the crafting bench inside the hub or whatever making biomass by hand. Anyway, so that's pretty much all I did off camera. I also added this like tower thing here just to kind of see the factory better. And so what I want to get done in today's video is I want to do some exploring, actually kind of like off in that direction, because I know there's this really nice flat area to build a really big like home base, if you will. So that's what I want to get done in today's video, is I kind of want to go look for that flat area over there, because this factory right here is mainly just for like the starting items or basic items I need to build up a factory, if you will. You know, like the concrete, the metal rods, the metal plates, all that stuff. And the reason why I don't want to build it here is because there's not a whole lot of nodes around and not a whole lot of space in general. So yeah, like I said, nice flat area over there somewhere, which I want to go and find. I also hope to unlock overclocking, because I also unlocked the MAM and field research and all that stuff too. And I think that should be pretty easy, as there is a power slug or whatever they're called over there. So I can easily research that right off the bat. And real quickly, just another thing I want to add on just before I get into today's video is that this is going to be more of a practice run, simply because Satisfactory is going to release their like 1.0 update or whatever in about a month, and they're going to change a whole bunch of things. So I'm not going to like get a whole lot of things done or whatever in this playthrough. It's like I said, it's going to be a bit of a practice run just so like I can get used to the game again. And I'm going to start another series when the 1.0 update comes out, whenever that is anyway. But yeah, just that's a bit off track there, but just to get into today's video here, I'm gonna start off by trying to get that power slug and research overclocking. Alright, so the power slug seems to be up on this rock here that I can't get to. And so I think the easiest way of doing this is I'm gonna build up this kind of like weird and kind of jank staircase. Alright, there you go. So then now I'm up here, I can go ahead and collect the blue power slug here. Take it to the MAM, research it, and then unlock overclocking and underclocking. So if I just go ahead to the MAM, power slugs, there you go. So the research isn't going to take too long. And just like that, I should just be able to go to the machine here, and it's not unlocked. Oh, I need to actually craft a power shard. Oh, that's annoying. I forgot about that. It's been so long since I played the game too. Anyway, so you know what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to go ahead, do some exploring, find another power slug in that open area I was talking about earlier. Alright, here, so it looks like in my exploring I found myself like one of these crashed ships or whatever, and somewhere, yeah, you can see drop pod. Put myself in some screws and then I can unlock it for a hard drive, which I can unlock in the map for alternate recipe. Anyway, so that's pretty cool. Okay, here guys, so I actually just found the big open area here, and I was actually looking in the wrong spot. So my base is actually somewhere over, kind of in that area over there. And I did point over to that side of the arch, but it was actually on the other side of the arch there, if that makes sense. But anyway, this nice, really open area is really good because most of the basic, like, kind of early on resources are over here. So like there's limestone over there, there's a ton of iron over there too, there's also a ton of copper I think over there, and a few other nodes over there I think too. Coal is also just over there as well, so for like steel and coal power plants, that's going to be really helpful too. And there's even, I think, a couple Caterium nodes over there too, which is really helpful. And when we do get into oil production, I think there are 4 oil nodes if you go a little bit that way over. So everything is pretty centrally located over here and really flat and nice and big, so I can build like a really good kind of main factory hub here, which is going to be really good. And there's also a ton of water nearby, so there's a lake over here and there's another one over there somewhere too. So we even have a bit of water for, like, I don't know, stuff that requires water and stuff, if that makes sense. Anyways, but yeah, so this is where I kind of like want my main base to be in this playthrough anyway. Alright guys, so just made it back to base here, and so I think the first thing I'm going to do is actually research that hard drive I got. So if I just go into here, scan hard drive, it's going to take about 10 minutes, which isn't too bad. And I think from here actually I unlocked an object scanner, so I'm going to go ahead and craft that because I think you can scan for power slugs with that, if I remember correctly anyway. So I just need one more reinforced iron plate here. So just went ahead and crafted that up, and then go to the object scanner here. And so that now I have an object scanner, I'm just going to go ahead and put that in my hand there. And I can't scan for anything. Okay, so the reason why it won't let me scan for it is because I actually need to unlock the scannable object thing there. So that's kind of annoying. I actually didn't know you actually needed to do that. Anyway, not too big a deal. I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of wander around and see what I can find around here anyway. There you go. There's another blue power slug. Wasn't too hard to find. So I'm going to go ahead and collect this guy over here. And then I'm either going to unlock overclocking or unlock the blue power slug as a scannable object. I'm not sure really which one is better or worse. You know what, I'm going to unlock the blue power slug as a scannable object just so I can find more blue slugs to then unlock overclocking and then power shards with, if that makes sense. Alright, that now I'm back at base here. I can go to the MAM and... oh, that's right, it's scanning for the hard drive there, that's right. Alright guys, so I think the MAM research should be finished here. Alright, so let's see what kind of alternate recipes we got here. Okay, so I'm kind of leaning towards one of the reinforced iron plates instead of the copper wire. Oh, do I have to... oh, I gotta wait 10 minutes again? Oh, that was dumb. Well, actually, you know what? I think while I'm waiting for that to do its thing, I kind of want to start planning what I want to do with the main base going on over there. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm just going to collect a ton of screws, iron plates, iron rods, all that jazz. Kind of make my way over to there and plan out what I want my base to look like and stuff. Alright, then now I made my way back to the area where I want to build my main base. I think the general plan that I want to go for is I want the main part. Yeah, kind of like the main base or whatever. Like right here. And then if I ever need to expand out, I can just expand out this way or out that way. And there's also all this area over here and down over there if I ever need to kind of like add maybe some other smaller sub-factories around it for other things. So I think that's the general plan for right now. Yeah, the general plan for right now is to just kind of build up a main little, or the main kind of factory base, kind of square thing right here. See what it looks like. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that real quick. Alrighty here, so just place down some foundations just to kind of outline what I want it to look like here. And I think this is a pretty decent sized factory to start out with, because starting out I'm mainly using constructors and I want to unlock assemblers as well today. But yeah, like I said, I'm not working with a whole lot just yet. So I think if I fill this in and organize it a little bit and fix it up also, I think this should be enough room to start out with. And now the goal is I also want it to go up, you know, kind of thing. I do want the factory to have levels to it, if that makes sense. So like level 1, for example, could be like all the basic like iron plates and like reinforced iron plates. Level 2 could be like steel. Level 3 could be oil production, for example, you know, just using examples here, but that's kind of the general idea that I'm kind of envisioning for this playthrough right now anyway. And yeah, you know what, actually I'm gonna go ahead and just fill this in and come up with a idea on what I want where, you know, kind of thing. Alrighty here, so I just filled in the middle of the factory foundation here and just added some walls around it just to kind of envision how I want this whole thing to look like. And so the way I want this factory to work and operate, if you will, is I want the production lines to kind of go from this end to that end. And so what I mean by that is I'll have the smelters here, then constructors, and then assemblers if needed or whatever, and then the storage containers over here. And that's the other thing too, on this end of the factory I want all my storage containers, you know, like where I'm gonna store like all my stuff on this side of the factory. And so that's how I kind of want my factory to operate, if that makes sense. And the other thing I want to unlock too are conveyor walls, like the walls with conveyor ports in them, and windows, because I also want to add windows every so often on the building too. But yeah, so that's kind of the main like rough idea of how I kind of want the factory to operate. But yeah, until then I'm gonna go back to my current base and see what kind of alternate recipes I got on that hard drive that I got earlier. Alright, then now I'm back at base here. It looks like one of those bean looking things got stuck in my factory there. It's kind of funny, he's glitching out there too. Anyways, getting off track here, going to the MAM. Let's see what kind of alternate recipes I got. So I got this screw recipe, which is actually, that's pretty goated, because instead of having to make iron rods and then screws, I can just go from iron ingots to screws. That's pretty goated, and I'm gonna take that. And the next thing I'm going to unlock is the scanning thing for the blue slugs here. And I actually did find another slug too, which I can actually craft into a power shard and unlock overclocking too. So yeah, if I just go into here, I can go to here, start research, and I have unlocked overclocking, which means if I go into here, there you go. So now I have my underclocking, and if I put the power shard in here, my overclocking too, which is great. All right, so I think from here, I am going to real quickly just make sure that this thing is making biomass into solid biofuel. That's the other thing. I unlocked solid biofuel and the chainsaw and stuff earlier on. I forget when. Anyway, but I unlocked all that stuff too. And so I think from here, actually, I want to unlock the assembler so I can make reinforced iron plates. So So yeah, if I just go to here, I actually have enough materials to just instantly unlock it here. Alright, now with assemblers unlocked, let me actually real quickly just place one down. I think I'm going to need some reinforced steel plates for that. Okay, so with the assembler, I can make reinforced iron plates, modular frames, rotors, and then smart plating for the space elevator, which I still need to craft and place down somewhere. I think I'm going to wait till I get my main base kind of sort of situated before that, just so I can have conveyor lines running into the space elevator. Anyways, but if I go into reinforced iron plates here, it's going to want 30 iron plates per minute and 60 screws per minute. Well, I'm only making 40 screws per minute and exactly 20 iron plates per minute. Okay, so that's kind of annoying. And as my factory currently stands, I don't think I have enough iron, or I don't think I'm producing enough iron ore per minute to make another few production lines for all that stuff. So you know what I think? I think I'm gonna go ahead and kind of get my main factory going a little bit with basic production lines so I can get the assemblers going. Actually, just out of curiosity, when do you unlock the awesome shop? Okay, so the awesome shop and awesome sink are right here. So I'm actually gonna go ahead, put that as my next milestone. Because with the awesome shop, I can unlock the conveyor walls and stuff, which is going to be super useful. I was going to have to wait, looks like a few minutes for the rocket to come back and do rocket things. Alright, that now I am back here at the main base. I am going to go ahead and set up some constructors and smelters and stuff to kind of situate and see like where everything is. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. Alrighty here, so I think I figured out a pretty good production line to produce some reinforced iron plates here. So let me just take you through it here. So to produce 5 reinforced iron plates per minute here, I'm gonna need 30 iron plates per minute and 60 screws per minute. So the way I'm gonna get those numbers is with the new alternate recipe for screws. You can see here that with 15 iron ingots per minute, I am going to make 60 screws per minute. That's also overclocked 120% there. So those are that's my screws complete for that. And then for my iron plates here, you can see I'm making 30 iron plates here, 150% overclocked as well. But it's going to need 45 iron ingots per minute. And so the way I solve this is I'm going to have one smelter overclock 200% to make 60 iron ingots per minute. I am going to need to find another power shard, but that's kind of the general idea that I want, or how I want all this to work. And so now I'm going to go ahead and just set all these machines up in a organized kind of production line over there. Alright here, so I set up all the machines here in an organized production fashion here. So as you can see, it starts with the smelter in the back here, and so with one of the iron nodes coming from over there, I'm gonna have a conveyor highway, if you will, running this way, because there are gonna be other machines set up, so I do want to build up a bit of a conveyor highway coming this way. Anyway, but I'm going to have a line coming into the smelter here, which is then going to make the iron ingots, split it into 2 ways. Just realized that's not going to work the way I think it's going to work. Okay, so I'm going to... Now, there's a couple ways of going about this. Now, I could do some really fancy load balancing stuff, or I could use 2 smelters. And I think I'm just going to use 2 smelters. Now I'm going to show you what that's going to look like here in a few minutes. Alrighty here, so I just fixed up the production line here to have 2 smelters instead of 1. So the way this is going to work now is I'm going to have the iron ore flow into the splitter, and it's going to be split. Again, not evenly. Alrighty here, guys, so it's been a couple days here actually since I've had that problem with the smelter and balancing and stuff. And so real quickly, just before I get into that, as you can see, I did a little bit of off-camera work, and I did fix the reinforced iron plate problem, and I also did add a rotor line over there too. And that's honestly all I did. But anyways, going back to the problem I was having with the smelter and stuff. So I'm not really sure what I was thinking a couple days ago, because you could just make a simple overflow system like this. So like the first machine will get backed up and then the rest will just go into the second one here. So I'm not really sure what I was thinking with like the load balancing and like doing all this calculations and stuff, because you know I could have just done this and it would have taken 5 seconds quite literally. So yeah, I'm not really sure what I was thinking a couple days ago. And so I did the same kind of like overflow system here for the rotors as well. And so with the rotor lineup, it's also pretty simple. I'm making 20 iron rods here and 100 screws to make 4 iron rods, or iron rotors per minute, or just regular rotors per minute. So yeah, that's about all I did there. And also another thing I want to point out with these two machines is that these two machines are specifically for my storage area. So like they're not going to be used in any other like production areas. Anyway, so I just wanted to quickly point that out. I am going to add a bunch of other machines off camera. So like iron plates, iron rods, screws, you know, cable and wire and all that stuff off camera. Just because I don't want to take up any time doing that in the next video, because in the next video I want to focus on powering the base up and unlocking the next 2 tiers in the space elevator. So that's my plan for the next video, so that's why I'm gonna do like all that stuff off camera. And yeah, you know what guys, I think this is gonna be the end of the video. Thank you for watching today's video. I really hope you did enjoy it. I know I did enjoy this video. And if you could also please like and subscribe to my channel, that would also mean a lot to me and help my channel out a lot. And again, thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.